Homeschool, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you what my homeschool curriculum picks are for this year. So I've got 3 kids. I've got an elementary age boy, a middle school age boy, and a high school age girl. So we've got quite a few different learning styles there. And so I'm going to show you kind of what I have picked this year and what's been working, what hasn't. So let's get started. So for my elementary age boy, he is 9, and this year we are going to continue on where we left off last year. So I don't usually start like a new book in the fall unless we have finished something the last spring and we're ready to move forward. But if we finish a book middle of the year, I go ahead and I get the next thing and we just keep on going. So a lot of the stuff I'm just continuing on where we left off in the spring, which makes it really easy. And even if something wasn't working, I like to give them a bit of a break, just kind of a brain break and a refresh, and then come back and see if it works better maybe in the fall after we've all had a chance to take a breather from it. So even though I've been looking at curriculum and thinking maybe we need to switch, I'm going to kind of start with what we've got and then take it from there and see if we need to change some things as we get into this new school year. So for my elementary boy, we are doing The Good and the Beautiful handwriting. Like I said, he's just moving along at his pace. So, we're just doing that. He's already started this book, so we're just going to continue on with that one. So that's easy. We also get Sabbath school lessons from our church, and that's what he's using for Bible. It's a program called My Bible First. So that just walks him through the Bible stories, has memory verses all set up, and we really enjoy that. We've actually been using My Bible First for a lot of years, even when it wasn't given out at our church. So we've always really liked that program. And then we are continuing on with The Good and the Beautiful for math and language arts. So I just get the free one and print it off and keep it in this binder. So I've got everything he needs here. And like I said, we just kind of continue on as he is moving through things at his pace. So we have already started with this math book and the language arts from last year. We're just going to keep on moving through. I will say this program, I really love that it's free. It's super frugal. They have really good principles. I love their artwork. However, it's not the greatest fit for my boys. Neither one of them has really thrived using it, I guess. It's not bad, it just doesn't quite match their learning style. So my daughter did really well with it when she was using it, but it's not quite the right pace for my sons. And especially I'll talk about my middle school son. He has like some dyslexic tendencies, so it didn't work for him at all, actually. But my youngest son, he's getting through it, but he doesn't love it. So this is one of the things, I'm using it because it's free, so we can, print it off, try it out, skip some things if it's not working for him, and kind of move at his pace without a big loss or investment. But we're going to kind of evaluate this year and see if we need to invest in something different, depending on how he does now with the new school year. So that's pretty much it for my elementary age son, keeping it pretty basic. As far as like history, I like to do just like Your Story Hour or other historical stories. They really like the Jeff and Janet Benj stories, like Heroes of History and the mission stories that they had. So I just kind of do that for the younger years instead of having like a spine or a curriculum for history or social studies. Last year we did use a Master Books textbook, and we really enjoyed that. We did America's Story. But this year I'm going to start with just keeping it kind of informal and see how that goes, and see if we need more stuff added in our day to keep them busy. So I'll kind of play that by ear as we get started with the pacing of things and see if we need to look into adding a little something else. As far as science goes, He does tons of animal study. He loves bugs and animals, so he spends a lot of time looking at bug and animal books from the library, or just like identification books that we have. So and just observing outside. He enjoys looking at ants and spiders and all those things, and drawing. So that is what he likes to do, and that's a really good science thing for him. And since he's 9, still pretty young, I definitely think that's a great way to learn science for him at this point. We do also, I'll talk about it at the end, or with my high school daughter's curriculum, we kind of do a family style science study using a high school curriculum that I do for the whole family. So I'll talk about that more later. And then let's move on to my middle school son. Now, like I said, he's had some struggles with reading, some challenges, and spelling, and all the language arts stuff. So we've taken it really slow with him at his pace and tried a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into all the things we have tried and like at this point, but that has been a challenge. So this year we are doing a little bit of Christian light education, like the workbooks, which I don't have one of those with me at this point, but we're trying that. I don't know if that's going to be a great fit. We just started at the end of last year and didn't get far enough into it to see if it was going to really be a good fit for him. So we'll see how that goes. He does also the handwriting from the Good and the Beautiful, so just moving through the levels of that. So working on more cursive. He doesn't have a problem with writing, so that's been fine for him. And we're also doing, from the Critical Thinking Company, word roots. So we just got that, again, the end of last school year. So he is giving that a try. I thought it was really cool of learning like the words and what they mean. I thought it might help with getting spelling to stick more for him if he could, have that context of things for the words and breaking down like their origins and all of that. So I'm not sure yet if that's going to be a good thing or not, if that's going to stick for him, but we're going to continue trying that with him. We also do touch type, read, and spell with him, which is an online typing program. We did that last year. I don't know, he wasn't super consistent with it. Kind of at the end of the year, kind of fizzled out, got tired of it, or would forget to do it. And I would forget to ask him if he had done it. So we're gonna stick with that, and it goes for a lot of levels. So there's a lot left to it. It is a yearly subscription. So he'll just continue with that. And that's like a multi-sensory approach to typing, and you hear the word, you see the word, and then you spell it, copy it. And then there's a test of just hearing it and having to spell it without seeing the word. So it does involve some spelling. It's supposed to be like an Orton-Gillingham approach, which if you have ever done any research on dyslexia, that's supposed to be the way to go. I will say that other programs I've tried that are supposed to have that approach have not been a good fit for him, but we're going to continue with the touch, type, read, and spell. If you want, I have a discount code that I will drop below for you to get 10% off of that. So that every little bit helps. And their homeschool price is lower than the regular program too. So it's a really reasonably priced program. He also gets Sabbath school lessons at our church, and he'll be using that for Bible. I haven't really looked through, he just got a new quarterly. He was just promoted into a new Sabbath school. So I haven't looked through it much yet, but it kind of looks like you tear out the middle and start like a big paper with a daily thing that he's supposed to study for each week. So I'll look into that more and see if we think that's going to be a good fit for him. If not, we'll figure out something else as we move forward. And then I didn't mention that we also do like an evening read aloud Bible time that we do. We're just working our way through the Bible, and we're reading like a chapter every evening. And I like to do that with a Bible paraphrase called the Clear Word Bible. So that's been really nice. So we've all really enjoyed that. And then for math, last year we started with the Critical Thinking Co. And that seemed to be a pretty good fit for him. I like to encourage independent learning as much as possible, and especially with him since he's older, so he's almost 13, that even though, you know, the reading's been a struggle, so we've had to do a lot together this whole time, but wherever possible, I like to empower him with a little more independent learning, and math is one of those ways that he has been able to do that. And so with the Critical Thinking Co., he did a book last year, and now this year, well, actually he started this book, Pre-Algebra, at the end of last year. So we'll just continue on with that. And then if he finishes this, I went ahead and got the geometry book as well, that he can just keep on keeping on at his pace. So we'll continue that one. As far as the history goes, same story as with my elementary age kid, where he's going to do, you know, the stories, the audiobooks. I'd like to do more field trips this year. We have like some Civil War battle areas around here that I'd like to check out. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Now, my middle school son, he loves history, so may find that we need to add more to his learning for that, because he just eats it up. So we'll probably add a bit more as we get going with our school year. All right, and then for my high schooler, she is continuing on with these home economics books that we got from Christian Light Education. And we started these the end of last year as well. I kind of started stuff second semester a lot last year. So just as I found things, I was like, you know what, I think this would be really good, and saw that she had a little time to add a little more in. Not a lot, but a little bit. And so we got these home economics books. Now she really enjoys sewing, so I thought it was pretty cool that these have like sewing stuff involved, which is pretty basic stuff. A lot she already knew, but it was still enjoyable for her to go through these. So I just picked and chose from the books that I thought looked interesting topic-wise, so we didn't get all of them. So like this says book 5 of 10. So we got that one, Getting Ready to Sew, Sewing for Yourself, Godly Homekeeping, Child Growth and Development, Growing into Godly Womanhood, Gardening and Food Preservation, and the ABCs of Money Management. So she will continue with those. I think she's made it through 3 or 4 of those already. So, and she seems to really enjoy that. As far as language arts goes, now she loves writing and language arts. That's one of her fortes. So that's really fun to get to do with her. Last year she took her English at a homeschool tutorial. So I didn't get to do much with her last year. So I'm looking forward to this year getting to interact with her more on that, because I enjoy it too. So we also in our family have decided not to do fiction books or movies. So we are kind of shifting a bit, which made it to where the usual literature studies weren't going to work for us. So most of the curriculum out there, I couldn't find any that was, you know, only nonfiction. And the same with the homeschool co-op or tutorial that she was doing. So we are taking that on ourselves and kind of creating our own curriculum this year. So one of the things I got is this Rod and Staff English Handbook. I really wasn't sure, you know, what it was. It doesn't have any assignments in it. It's purely just rules and tips. So basically it's a reference book for English. So I think it'll be a good resource for us. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it at this point, so we'll see. But that was pretty inexpensive. I bought it used, so I got it really inexpensively. So I think we'll use that as a reference resource. And then she is going to be using this reading journal which I just got the ebook version from Not Consumed. And we are doing just the nonfiction portion of it. So you can just print off what you want to use, which I thought was really awesome. So there's like biography or autobiography, Christian lifestyle and leadership, money and business, informational text, and I added one more personal development. So I'll see with the personal development if I need to kind of create our own set of worksheets to supplement this, or if any of those other categories will work just fine. So I'm pretty excited about that. Looking forward to seeing how that goes for her. And that way it gives her the power to choose, things that sound interesting to her, but still fit within our guidelines of the type of reading material that is appropriate or we feel is the most uplifting for our family. So looking forward to that one. Now she is doing Algebra 1 this year. She doesn't love math, and so we've taken it kind of slow. But this year she's going to be doing Algebra 1, and I really debated on what to use for this a lot. But we ended up going with the Forster's Algebra 1. And this one, I'm not sure, I think this is actually out of print. I bought it used. And then the answer key I had to get from a website called Math Without Borders, because they don't even sell the answer key anymore to go with this. So I don't know how this is going to go at all. This looks like a basic textbook like I would have had when I was in high school. So I'm thinking this one I'm going to be teaching on the whiteboard, and we'll see how that goes. She's been independently learning math all along and hasn't enjoyed it, and it hasn't gone super well. So we're just going to take this one like straight up whiteboard teaching with me, going through stuff with her and giving examples, and I'm hoping things will start to click and that she'll actually, hopefully enjoy it, or if not, at least it'll make more sense this way. So doing that one with her. And then as far as history, she's actually not doing history this year. I need to look actually. I think she may have a few more hours to finish for her American or US history. So we're just counting hours for high school instead of having a specific curriculum for her histories, because I wanted to piece together, certain things that she was interested in that were uplifting and relevant to our times versus just going through a textbook. So that is what we have done so far. She doesn't need a history every year of high school, so this year we decided not to do a history, but she may finish up with just some of her hours from last year. As far as PE, I do have all the kids do strength training, and I put together strength training for them so that they can learn how to use their bodies well and to build up and not damage themselves, and to just have a really good fitness and wellness routine. So I do create those myself because my background is physical therapy and health and wellness. So I do that, and she will count that as hours for working out. They also spend a lot of time outside. I do require them to get at least an hour outside every day, preferably a lot more. And they go on walks, they walk the dogs, so all those things are good for getting good movement throughout the day as well. For her Bible, she is going to be using her Sabbath school lessons as well. And I don't have a book up here, but she'll do there's ebooks that we get that are from an app called the LNGY app. And so she will either do a book off of there or another one of Ellen White's books called The Sanctified Life that also has a workbook to go with it. So she'll be doing one of those. We haven't fully decided which one to start with yet. And science. Let me come to science. So we are using this curriculum called Acquainting Agriculture. And it is a Christian curriculum that is like an agri-science. So we are counting for one of her high school sciences, agri-science. And it has gardening and everything you need to know for market gardening. Well, I don't know, I guess I can't say everything, but a good basic overview, and how to take good care of different plants and grow your own food, and even grow like cut flowers and do like bees. And I'm not sure, I think it may have some other animal stuff in it as well. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it does. It has chickens, even like microgreens, farming for a living. So there's the market gardening part. Now this also has like QR codes to Born to Grow, which is a gardening website that has like tutorial videos on how to be a gardener and how to grow your own food. So we do watch those. Now, I will say that the textbook is a little bit redundant with the Born to Grow videos. It's a lot of the same material and information. So at first I was reading this aloud to everyone. We were going through like a section a day, because the boys are getting involved with this too. And then we would watch whatever video, which there isn't a video for every day, but there's like 1 or 2 a week. And then the video would just repeat kind of what we had just read. So now we're kind of going with, let's see what the video says, and then I kind of go through and pick out the highlights of what else there is to fill in, if there's anything else. What I do like about this is it has a spiritual lesson to go with each portion, with each chapter. So the videos don't have that, so I definitely read that as well. And then there's discussion questions, and then there's actually a lab part, so activities to go out and work the garden and learn from doing. So that has been interesting. Probably I like this better than my kids do, but it's a really interesting and practical way to get a high school science that counts. So that's awesome. We are also watching Garden Answer on YouTube, and that has been really fun. The kids are really enjoying watching Laura from Garden Answer and her showing her gardens, and like recently we've been watching her have a pond put in at her place. So that has been a really fun addition to our agriculture course as well. Now she mostly does like beautiful landscaping, flower gardens, that kind of thing, but she also does vegetable gardening as well, and cut flowers. So definitely a nice, well-rounded channel that goes great for an agri-science course supplement. So I think that's pretty much it, except for my daughter's also doing, I didn't bring it up, but she has the Word Roots book for her level as well from the Critical Thinking Company. And we're probably going to be doing a bit of hymn study. She's actually wanting to research a bit of the Psalms and the context for when each Psalm was written, and see if she can dive more into that. So that'll be fun. And also I'm going to have her write a hymn or more this year as one of her assignments. So that'll be fun. She loves music, and I think that'll just really be a great literary study for her. She's also doing Spanish. We are doing that online from the ULAT, and I forgot to remind myself what that actually stands for. I can't remember, but they have Spanish and French on there, and it's supposed to be great for the whole family. We've never done that. Last year she did her Spanish 1 at the homeschool tutorial. So this year we're going to do this at home. It's a lot less expensive to do it this way. Online, the ULAT is free for I think the first 15 lessons, so you can give it a try. We haven't yet. We're going to start next week. And then after that, it's $60 a year. Or I found a super secret link, which I'm not affiliated. I just found a link for you to get $15 off. So it's only $45 for an entire credit of Spanish. Is super reasonable. So you really can't beat that. So I hope we like it. And I think we're gonna take it like as a family with the boys as well, as it's supposed to be really good for all ages. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Hopefully that gives you some inspiration and ideas of some things to check out for your homeschool. As you can see, I'm pretty eclectic. I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I really individualize things for each child's learning style. So definitely look into some of those things. So let me know, what are some of your favorite homeschool curricula? And do you like to follow like a curriculum that's all laid out for you, or are you pretty eclectic like me? Let me know, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.